In Sweden, they are going to test out something that is very un-American. They want to see if working less will actually increase productivity. That's right, the city government of Gothenburg, Sweden, wants to test the impact of shorter hours and how that affects productivity in an experiment that begins in about 3 weeks. So one group of government workers in the elderly care sector are going to work 6 hours a day, while another are going to work the 8 hours that they're accustomed to working. After a year, the government is going to analyze the results and decide whether the 6-hour day actually allows people to accomplish just as much as they were doing with the 2 extra hours. Of course, proponents of cutting the workday are saying that people will have fewer sick days and they'll be more efficient in general. And the International Productivity Ranking by Conference Board, a nonprofit business research organization, Sweden was already close to the top, coming out 11th in 61 countries in terms of productivity. And we've got some more info on that for you. So this is average work hours and international productivity rankings. Okay, so what you can see here is that in the Netherlands, they don't work a ton, but they're ranked 5th in productivity, pretty good. The United States, we do work a lot, an average of roughly 400 more hours a year than they do in the Netherlands, and our productivity is pretty good. Interestingly, in Chile and in Mexico, they work a ton, and their productivity is not good. So this all sort of, it's a little all over the place, but also I think you can get some interesting stuff from this. So let's just start with the American component, since we're in America here. This is very un-American, right? To say, oh, you should work less, and maybe that'll make you more productive, because we're just taught to work and work and work till we drop.
It's not working hard, it's working smart. So if you're tired and you're hating life, yeah, you're going to work much more poorly. So I kind of think Sweden has a point here.
Yeah. Should we jump on this bandwagon that Sweden? Because I think when they do, once they get the information back on this, they're going to see, yeah, people can work more nimbly and more swiftly.
I think it would be a great thing if people worked fewer hours, because we work a ton. A lot of people are independent contractors nowadays as well, and they're working more than 40, 50, 60 hours. We have a lot of young lawyers that are going crazy, 100, 120-hour work weeks. I think that's unacceptable, but I think that if we are going to lower the minimum number of hours for full-time work from, say, 8 to 6, we also have to make some changes so that workers are engaged and we're getting the same level of productivity. Yeah. So we know that certain activities at work lead to results, and others don't. So that's where we should focus our energy, making people happier, more engaged at work.
So, all right, so let's talk about happiness, because we never talk about that, right? That's the one thing that's never talked about, is the relation between work and happiness. So they've done studies that show that people that are working are generally happier, because then you have money and you can go do things and take vacations and things like that. But we don't really talk about it on sort of a day-to-day basis, like where happiness is coming from. And people, I'm sure, that are working 100-hour work weeks, probably not that happy, right?
No, you miss your family, you're not sleeping enough, you're not eating enough, you're not seeing your friends, you're not getting the things done that you need to get done that aren't even fun at all. Yeah. Of course, you're stressed out.
Do you guys think that as the economy changes and now that we can do everything online and computers and things like that, that you can accomplish as much in 3 hours as maybe they used to be able to accomplish all day long? So I feel like a lot of people right now, people that are watching, there are a lot of people watching this at work. We know a lot of our videos are watched during work hours, and people are at work without things to do, actually, because it's sort of the old paradigm of working 9 to 5, but actually you can accomplish all you needed to do from 9 to 11.
This idea of working to from 9 to 5 comes from the times of agriculture, when we had to wake up at a certain time and then there was light, and so we used up all the valuable light time and then we went to bed after the sunset or whatever. So it makes no sense to apply to today's society, where we have artificial light, where we have the internet, where we can communicate globally. I think that what's happening, though, is that because we have all these technological advances, we just want people to do more. And bosses expect more out of us. I've so many of my friends tell me my boss sends me an email at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm expected to respond, and I'm like, that's fucking nuts.
But isn't that you get emails at that hour? Don't you feel that? Because I see it all the time. I get emails. I wake up, I check my email at 6 in the morning.
I get emails at 10. I would get emails at 10 or on the weekends and be expected to respond to them. I'm like, fuck this. This is not okay.
Yeah. So is that the huge drawback to the technology? Because now they're saying how people don't even stop working when they're on vacation now, because everyone has an iPhone and you can literally on the beach, you're like, oh shit,
I've done that.
Yeah.
Because people from work are like, put out this fire, and it's I'm in a different state now. No, but Yeah, I can definitely see this. I feel like most of the workday is spent, hurry up and wait, or wasting time running out the clock, and it doesn't need to be that way. We can enjoy our lives, shockingly enough, and we can enjoy our work, also shockingly enough.
Yeah, so if Sweden, which already, as we said, they don't work as much as us and they are more productive, if they find this to be true and really push this idea all over the country, do you think they're going to have an immigration problem? I'm pretty sure they don't have the easiest immigration policies in the first place. But really, do you think this would be the place? People would be like, you know what, they're doing something right there.
Sweden's different though too. They're very much focused on education, much more than the U.S. is, and they're also healthier. They have a better educational system. They have a better health system. So I think those two things also highly contribute to their productivity. It's not just about the hours; it's the fact that they have a society where even if they're working fewer hours, they're still working great.
There you go.